I'm here to issue a warning to Pennsylvania voters. You can't do the job of U.S. Senator sitting at home firing off snarky tweets. It's a demanding job. It requires extensive time on the road, long days and nights. Based on what I've seen from the videos of his very few public appearances, I have my doubts about whether John Fetterman is up to the job.
That is Republican Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey, and this is becoming a scandal for Democrats. The Democrat candidate, John Fetterman, is in the race to fill Toomey's seat. Fetterman says there's no way he's going to debate Dr. Oz. Fetterman says he's still recovering from a stroke he had in May. The candidates were scheduled to debate yesterday in the first of 5 meetings before the election, but Fetterman backed out at the end of August. A GOP group has flagged his Labor Day remarks where he seemed to be struggling.
Send me to Washington, D.C. so I can work with Senator Casey and I can champion the union way of life in D.C. I live 8 minutes away from here. And when I leave tonight, I got 3 miles away, Dr. Oz in his mansion in New Jersey. You've got a friend and you have an ally. Send me to Washington, D.C.
Dr. Oz has accused Fetterman of lying about the seriousness of the effects of the stroke and ramped up his criticism this way. A few minutes ago, Fetterman's campaign said this isn't about debates. This is about mocking John for having a stroke because they've got nothing else. Power panel now. Lisa Booth, Leslie Marshall, both Fox News contributors. Great to see you both. All right, Lisa,
Hi,
I'm going to come to you first, Lisa, and just kind of get the baseline from you of where you think this race is.
Well, Fetterman's not healthy. I mean, we all saw the clip. We heard him try to string sentences together. And if he's not healthy enough to debate, he's not healthy enough to serve in the Senate. It's the weekend at Bernie's campaign. It's the same thing we saw with Joe Biden when they stuffed him in the basement. And what did we get? We got paying double for gas, sky-high inflation, open borders, crime in the streets. And just because Fetterman puts a sweatshirt on and looks like a hobo does not make him a man of the people. I mean, this is a guy who lived off of mommy and daddy until recently. Not only is he not a man of the people, but he's not even a man. And he says that he is to the left of Bernie Sanders. We should believe him. He wants to put the screws to the middle class by banning fracking. The guy hires convicted criminals for his campaign, let criminals out on the streets when he was lieutenant governor. He's a disaster for the state of Pennsylvania, a disaster for the country, and quite frankly, just not healthy enough to serve in the Senate.
You know, ironically, usually, Leslie, I would say, well, we're not doctors. Actually, Dr. Oz is a doctor. So, you know, he'll weigh in the way he weighs in. But the bottom line is, Lisa just put it out there. I mean, if you aren't willing to debate and you've got 5 of these on the calendar and you won't even do one, what does that say?
Well, a few things, Harris. I, the other day, interviewed a neurologist on my radio show about this. And he said when you have a minor stroke, such as John Fetterman has had, it does take some time to get back to 100%. And if he were to debate right now, you're kind of forcing the neurotransmitters to go in the, the fast lane on the freeway, and you will get to the same point, but you want to take it a bit slow. I think that Fetterman will debate Dr. Oz, but you know what? What really bothers me here, Harris, is when we attack the person and when we try to become medical professionals ourselves, I mean, Fetterman's physician knows what's best for Fetterman. Fetterman and his family knows what's best for Fetterman, and the people of Pennsylvania know what's best for them. It makes my skin crawl when I see a medical professional like Dr. Oz, attacking somebody personally and medically.
Actually,
and
he's been quite gracious.
And I know the reason when you look at the numbers that we're seeing so much emphasis on this race by the Republicans is we're seeing incredible fundraising for Fetterman, and we're seeing numbers. They thought Dr. Oz would be far ahead of Fetterman, and he isn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of emphasis from both sides. Real quickly, Lisa, and we'll move on.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you actually look at likely voter surveys, this race is tightening. It's in striking distance. And the reason Fetterman doesn't want to debate him is, one, he's not healthy. I mean, Leslie, you don't have to be a doctor. Watch the man. He can't put sentences together. He can't even complete a word. He's not healthy enough to debate. He's not healthy enough to serve in the Senate. And he has radical extremist policies, which he's trying to hide. It's obvious to everyone. We can see it.
You know, Lisa, as I hear you say that, and you too, Leslie, there's 62 days left. So if his stroke was between 90 and 100 days and his doctor thinks he needs more time, those debates are not going to happen after November 8th. So that is, again, why this is such an issue. Will voters really get to see who these candidates are, with Fetterman on the stage taking on Dr. Oz, who's willing, ready to go before they go to the polls? And some of them are going to vote early. And this matters. This especially matters because of what's on the line on the Hill, right? I mean, if a red wave or a pink wave or whatever, if it's not as big or it's bigger than anybody ever thought with Republicans, they're going to take some seats. So that means that the stress for Democrats in the Senate is important. Your thought?
Well, obviously, anytime there's a midterm election as a Democrat, I have some stress, Harris, because Republicans show up in midterms to vote in numbers bigger than Democrats typically. And of course, I mean, you just need one seat on either side. Yeah, you just need one seat on either side to get a majority. So whether it's the Pennsylvania race or any senatorial race or even House race, we do have some nail biters. I mean, I like some numbers I'm seeing coming out, especially in the Senate for Democrats. But of course, I don't like the word tsunami, and I would like to see that change between now and November.
All right, real quickly.
I wouldn't.
I do. All right, Lisa, real quickly.
Well, there's a big problem right now with the media and the way people are looking at these races. Registered voter surveys are garbage. They don't tell the story. Registered voter surveys show a much tighter reflection of the reality. When you look at likely voter surveys, which actually captures who's planning on turning out and how they plan on voting, Republicans are up much higher. You look at these likely voter surveys up by 5 or 6 on the congressional ballot alone. And I think the reason registered voter surveys are being done is to suppress the vote, depress Republicans, and also to get donors to not think these races are viable when they absolutely are, as we just heard from Leslie, even expressing her own concerns.
All right, good to see you both. Thank you. Till next time.
Thank you, Harris. Take care.
Harris.